All of the final games for placement today are being played at the same time. Obviously, we are bringing you the Opens live stream, the women's live stream for the finals is about to start between the Bengals and Hot Sauce. Mr. Tseopo Taela will be manning that stream as Donkeys pull to start the second point of the game against Mutiny. Mutiny picks up, handler reset, a deep look. They want to convert. A violation has been called for double marking, I believe. As Mutiny use the width of the field to try and work the disc up. A deep huck with the wind behind it. This will carry. First contact was just out of the end zone, and Mutiny convert with the wind behind them to bring the score to 1-1 as the Donkeys return to the opposite side of the field. They will now play with the wind behind them. Awaiting the pull from Mutiny now. The score is 1-1. The pull is bending and skipping out of bounds just behind the Donkey's brick mark into the sideline. It will be taken from the sideline. Blocked by Donkeys, a long bid for the end zone. Both teams making use of the downwind advantage to throw long when playing from the opposite side of the field from the streaming booth. Mutiny looking to spread the disc. Scott Glennie on the reception there. Pivots. Moves the disc to a more central position. With the wind in their face, Mutiny maintaining possession. Continue to make use of their handlers. A low forehand pushed into the ground. The Donkeys now to attack. And another conversion by the Donkeys to bring the score to 2-1. A point yet to be scored in the opposite end zone. Now beginning the 4th point of the match. The donkeys pull and Mutiny picks up, quick to move the disc, looking to make use of the wind behind them. An arcing forehand, blading, drifting in the wind. Donkeys now to return. Ryan with the disc there, moving it forwards. Pop to Kyle. Juan now on the disc. Or Juan. Moving the disc forward now. Donkeys looking to convert with the wind in their face. That disc now floating. Turned over. A Mutiny. Who look to convert. And they do. Bringing the score to 2-2. Mutiny to pull. The pull is good. Drifting out of bounds. And a brick is called. And Mutiny will have a chance to set up their defensive structure on the long donkeys. As the donkeys now advance downfield, a deep forehand collected. Very quick play from the donkeys to respond to the point scored by Mutiny. Bringing the score to 3-2. As we get some hands from the field. Donkeys acknowledging the streaming booth. Skater. You love to see it. The air is cold this morning. We've had 2 days of fantastic weather. The first day was clear and calm, not a breeze. Second day, a little bit windier. Now the third day, with a little bit of vengeance, a bit of punishment for the good times that we've been having in terms of conditions. It's not raining. That's something to be grateful for. As Mutiny huck deep, blocked at the end zone line by the Donkeys' defense. The Donkeys now attempt to throw into the wind. Unsuccessful, and Mutiny take possession again. Using the wind behind them, a bobbled catch turned over. A call has been made. Contact call. discussion ensues between the men in white and the men in black. Now donkeys approach, or look for an angle of approach onto the Mutiny end zone. A turned over disc, Mutiny will pick up and look for a conversion here. A deep forehand into the end zone, unfortunately not managed by Mutiny. Mutiny managed to get it back quickly with one pass, looking for the end zone now, and very smooth, cool as a cucumber. Mutiny convert again. A point is yet to be scored in the opposite end zone. The wind definitely playing a role here in the Opens final, the Opens division final. The wind causing all kinds of havoc behind the camera. As Mutiny prepare for the pull. Mutiny to pull. A call from the sideline, nothing deep. The long donkeys will look to go deep. And they do, to convert. As the man wearing the inverted 15 shirt, I assume that is the Dark Donkeys kit. If my list is correct, that is Vaughn. Brings the disc down in the end zone. As he leaves the field for a replacement. A high five exchanged. Congratulations for the conversion. And the near end zone is scored in again by the Donkeys. Which brings the score, I believe, to 4-3. Ryan on the pull. In spite of the wind, doing an excellent job to keep the disc in bounds. Mutiny looking to go downfield. A call has been made, a violation call. A big forehand down the field. The wind pushing the disc into the ground, as it does when behind the disc. Ryan with the disc now in a handling position. Releases flat to Vaughn. Vaughn resets to Kevin F. There are two Kevins on the Donkeys team. Kevin F with the disc. A call has been made, a travel call. Sam Bovum providing the hand signals for the commentary booth. Discussion continues. You cannot contest a travel, is heard from the field. Okay, the disc is in. A blading forehand. Definitely influenced by the wind. Turned back over. Mutiny with the disc now. Mutiny spreading the disc. Looking deep with a forehand. Drifting in the wind. Turned over. Long donkeys to return now. A flat backhand into the face of the wind. Seemingly unaffected by the wind. And donkeys looking to convert on the far side of the field for the first time this match. Looking to keep their cool. So close. Bobbled and turned over. Mutiny with the disc now. Big fakes to loosen up for the throw. And the disc falls short. Donkeys maintain possession after a bit of a slap fight involving the disc. Sam Bovin picks up the disc. Mutiny now looking to advance down the field again. A looping backhand. The Mutiny receiver is present. Now looking for the end zone, floating. Two options. Easy stuff for Mutiny. And again, the near end zone being converted in once more. Donkeys came close to breaking what seems to be a curse on the far end zone. Unsuccessful. So close, yet nothing to show for it. And Mutiny scores. Which brings the score to 4-4. Both teams trading blows. The wind now changing direction slightly. Blowing across the field rather than through the length of it. The out call. Donkeys look to convert in the end zone. Unfortunately, it was obscured from my view by a tree. But I believe the receiver landed outside of bounds with the disc in hand. And it is a turnover. An arcing flick from Mutiny. Did not find the first receiver, almost found the second, and now a turnover for the Donkeys, who promptly put it down. The sporadic changes in wind speed and I think direction, making the disc very hard to read. Mutiny maintained possession, looking to break the dry spell in the opposite end zone for both teams and to pull ahead. The disc is down in the Donkeys' end zone. It seems an injury has also occurred just outside of the end zone. Injury call has been made. The man is up, but he will take a substitution. As the sun rises, starts to warm the chill from the sideline observers' bones. It is frigid in the commentary booth. I know it's a bit better down on the field. I should have brought gloves. I believe a timeout has been called. Playing for the Long Donkeys today, we have Sammy, John, Skater, Ryan, James, Andrew, Juan, Kyle, Kevin F, Len, Vaughn, Kevin S, and Ruben. And for Mutiny, we have Peter, Dylan, Nick, Scott, Rourke, Vian, Sam, Ross, Philip, Brent, Jared, Grant, Mark, Doug, and Robert. Both teams will be hell-bent on taking the win here today. So far, unable to break the exchange, the alternating scoring of each team in the near end zone. A point is yet to be scored in the far end zone as the timeout concludes. Long Donkeys now looking to get downfield to the streaming booth side of the field to convert. The disc is checked in and spread to the left-hand side of the field. Back to the center. Back to the left-hand side. A shot forward, evaluated, and decided. Mutiny turn over the disc, floating after the initial block, and picked up by a second interceptor. Moving now to the left-hand side of the field, pushing ever so close to the end zone, looking to break the deadlock in the far end zone. Back to the center, a better throwing position, a few more options. Now back to the left-hand side. Back to the center. Now to the right, floating. Swatted out of the air, snatched rather. 2 meters of yardage made with a quick pop pass. Now lost again for a better position. The handlers moving the disc effectively, maintaining possession. Mutiny need to remain composed to convert. Spreading the disc nicely between their handlers, evaluating options on all sides of the field. Almost converting, but a turnover. Now the Donkeys look up the field, a body block, the lower back of the Mutiny player, thrown recklessly in the way of the disc, and the block is good. Mutiny now regain possession maybe 10 meters from the line. The air is frigid. I'm alternating hands in pockets and holding the microphone. As Mutiny attack the Donkeys' end zone again. Donkeys' defense holding strong, but Mutiny very consistent, very measured in their passing. Looking for the shot into the end zone, and they find it on what seemed like a cursed end zone. The deadlock is broken. And Mutiny score to add to their tally. (5-4) to Mutiny. The first time they've been in front this game. All previous points by Mutiny have been in response to a Donkey's point to match them. And for the first time this match, 2 points are scored in a row by the same team, while both teams seemed to only be able to score with the wind behind them in the near end zone. Finally, the first point is scored in the far end zone. The wind picks up again. A high floating pull thrown, I believe, outside of bounds on the right hand side of the field, to be caught by the wind, which is now blowing across the field. And torn down out of bounds on the left hand side of the field. As the corner cone for the end zone has been blown out of place, or kicked out of place. I'm not sure when that occurred. The Donkeys look to attack now. With the wind blowing across the field, the end zone curse should be broken. A big blading backhand from the Donkeys. A layout catch attempt. Unfortunately too short. Mutiny now looking to go the other way. A blading forehand, blocked by the Donkeys. Now another blading forehand, this time from the Donkeys, in the direction of the end zone. Turned over, another blading forehand from Mutiny, received this time. Now the wind blowing across the field, interfering heavily with that backhand attempt. Donkeys moving the disc up the field now on the left-hand side. Mutiny would love to keep the disc on that side of the field while in the possession of the Donkeys. Making swings back to the middle very difficult with the newfound direction of the wind. Discussion between the two teams now concluded. The position of the Mutiny player regained. As an attempt for the end zone, blocked. A call has been made. Was there contact in the process, or in an attempt to gain possession in the air? Waiting for the call to be resolved. The ever-present wind rippling the kits of both teams. As Mutiny look to come back down the field after gaining possession after that discussion. The turnover stands. Brought down by Donkeys. A long bid for the Donkeys end zone. Thwarted. Now looking for the Mutiny end zone. A backhand with what would have had excellent shape had it not been pulled off course. And Mutiny will bring the disc up to the point at which the disc crossed the line. Unfortunately, the forehand not working according to Mutiny's plan. An injury has been called as the hand that threw the forehand is shaken. The injury hand signal made just to validate a little bit of extra time before the disc was put back into play. As the Donkeys block the disc out of possession, the wind causing all kinds of problems for everyone here at the field today. As the Donkeys look to attack, Mutiny turns over the disc and looks deep, lofted into the air and swatted down by the Donkeys. Now looking to get the disc up the field. A timeout has been called by the Donkeys. The Long Donkeys and Mutiny from the Western Cape, both excellent teams. They're obviously both in the final. The contest today seems to be who can master the elements, who can bend the air. As the Donkeys prepare to start the disc. Two short options faked off and a look deep. This disc will not remain in bounds. As the crosswind has its way with the disc. Mutiny now looking to move the disc up the field. Unfortunately, unable to find a receiver. Donkeys looking to attack the end zone now.
options with raised hands, making themselves available, and a conversion. Ooh. A very, very unfortunate dropped catch in the end zone. An unmarked man. Mutiny managed to keep possession of the disc, and a quick counter-attack score from Mutiny. Tons of spirit, tons of enthusiasm on the field are the chaps from Mutiny. And Mutiny extend their lead. The Donkeys will not be happy with this. What was an exchange of blows is now turning into some momentum built by Mutiny. Encouragement from the sideline for the Mutiny chaps to get another, as a disc from the adjacent field flies into the Opens Division Finals. Now would be the time in between points. Now would be the ideal time. Mutiny pull. A flat, powerful left-handed backhand. As the Donkeys attempt to advance down the field. And the handler there regaining his position after using a bit too much momentum. Or after his momentum carried him a little bit too far. And a turnover now. Mutiny looking to return to build some momentum down the field. Good movement of the disc laterally to create space, and Mutiny bid for the end zone again and convert again to extend their lead. The Long Donkeys need to change something. I think my hand is going to be frozen to the mic by the end of this game. Cries can be heard from the adjacent fields. As Mutiny signal readiness for the pull, the Donkeys respond and the disc is pulled. Drifting left across the field, landing just in bounds. More ideal pull. I don't think there is one, considering the conditions. The Donkeys now looking to move up the field, looking to build some momentum and break what seems to be a bit of a roll by Mutiny. Good movement of the disc by the Donkeys, resetting the stall count. The pressure builds and a release for the end zone. Vaughan is underneath and a conversion with an ornithopter celebration or a bird flapping. He's flying. The score is 7-5. The Donkeys looking to catch up. Just a reminder to the viewers that official scores are recorded field side. We try to keep best track of them up here in the commentary booth, but our scores are not used for official records. So if we make a mistake, don't stress. Mutiny now, moving the disc forwards, finding space on the left-hand side of the field. As the wind intensity reduces, and play becomes less restricted, the zonal defense from both teams Mutiny continues to move forward, now up the right-hand side of the field. Back to the center and spread. Still in the center. Now back out to the right sideline. Back into the center of the field. Just inside the brick mark. Now on the brick mark, or level with the brick mark on the left-hand side of the field. Further left, further forward. Walking down in the end zone. Spread to the right-hand side. Looking for a shot into the end zone now. Bearing down on the end zone on Mutiny. And another conversion for Mutiny. A 1 meter pop pass to get over the line. Very consistent performance from them to work the disc up to the end zone line and convert. And that is half time. As Mutiny reach 8 points to 5. A 3-point lead moving into half. Something they will grab with both hands after an exchange of blows by the two teams early on. Both teams scoring in response to one another in the near end zone with the wind behind them. Now no longer as much of a factor. Both end zones are free game. And Mutiny pulling away into the end of the half. Long Donkeys will evaluate the first half and see what adjustments need to be made in order to come back in the second. pan the camera there to a little bit of a show in the sky. Rainbow now fading. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Any moms watching? Remember to tell your mom you love her today. Shout out to all the moms, all the amazing stuff they do. Especially the moms who took their kids to frisbee practice. Halftime will be coming to an end shortly. Call from Mutiny as they re-enter the field. Donkeys also entering the field to begin the second half. The score is 8-5. Mutiny scoring a downwind break point, often considered a double break point in the first half, leading to an early lead. Donkeys looking to respond now. Discussion still continues on field now as we await to resume the play as the sun reappears. One, two, three donkeys heard from the near side of the field. A call from the Mutiny side of the field too. Donkeys looking to make a statement early in the second half here. The score is 8-5. Looking to reduce that margin. The wind, much less of a factor now. The breeze still apparent though. A rolling pull stopped early by Sam Bovum from Mutiny. Mutiny looked to build some momentum. Spread out to the left-hand side of the field and hucked forward, turned over by the man in the number 17 jersey, who is not on my list, but who has made lots and lots and lots of effective Ds for the donkey today. A turnover, multiple instances of contact, and a donkey's player writhing on the ground, obscured from the view of the camera by another player, but the contact looking to have caused the ambulance staff furtively approach the field. They're not sure if their presence is needed. Discussion ensues. The man is up. He looked to be in quite some pain, but he seems fine. The ambulance staff still standing at the ready. And the disc is returned to the last uncontested thrower, as there was a contact call in the catching motion of the Donkeys player. The Donkeys look deep. A bending forehand will not find the mark. Blades into the ground and held up by the wind, rolls out the back of the end zone. Mutiny will walk this disc back up to the line. With the disc flying up and down the field, turnover after turnover. Donkeys, a new approach now, looking to maintain a bit more possession of the disc and work it up towards the end zone before shooting. Vaughan indicates his presence in the end zone. A layout catch attempt to convert, unfortunately unsuccessful for the Donkeys. And Mutiny will advance back down to the stream side of the field. Mutiny look deep again. This disc will blade into the hands of the number 17, an ever-present defensive stalwart. Donkeys look for the end zone again. Two potential receivers. Neither could maintain control of the disc. Spurred on by the presence, or the ever-present wind, as Mutiny walks to pick this disc up again. Now walked up to the line. Big backhand, landing in the grass. Around round about level with the brick mark on the donkey side of the field. Donkeys walk to pick it up. The disc is checked in on the right hand side of the field, the sideline, just forward of the brick mark. A deep huck into the end zone. Grabbed. And the Flappy Bird. Vaughan on the receiving end again to add to the Donkeys tally. And the score is 8-6. The first point of the half. Donkeys. Donkeys to pull. The disc landing deep in the end zone of Mutiny, or halfway to the end of the end zone. A call made. And apologies exchanged in good spirits between the Donkeys players and the Mutiny player. Mutiny looks to work out of the end zone now. Effectively spreading the disc. Moving it forward. Bit of a risky pass, but receiver found possession nonetheless. Working up the left-hand side of the field now. Popped forward. Mutiny now building some momentum up the left-hand sideline. Looking back towards the middle of the field. The Long Donkeys Cup forcing them to the left-hand side of the field. In which direction the wind is blowing. Mutiny continue to adjust the position of the disc and march down on the Donkeys' end zone. Almost. And they convert again to increase their lead. The score is 9-6 to Mutiny. As Mutiny regain their 3-point lead. Every point counts here in the Opens Division final between the Donkeys and Mutiny. Mutiny pull. This will land in the hands of Ryan, wearing the number 4 jersey. Move forward to number 17. Hucked deep and arcing. Mutiny call that the disc is down. The donkeys believe it is up. From here I can see the receiver indicating that he caught the disc, and then while in his control the disc touched the ground. But the turnover stands, or does it? The turnover stands. Thrown over the top. Sam Bovum was the intended receiver. Tried to keep himself in bounds and catch the disc, unfortunately unable to. As the Long Donkeys approach the corner of their own end zone to bring the disc back into play. Spreading the disc to the right-hand side of the field as the sun starts to create shadows again. Ryan on the disc in a handling position, evaluating his options, chooses to move it towards the sideline on the left-hand side of the field, where a lot of play has happened this morning. A deep huck. The disc drifting down into the end zone, and the Donkeys manage to yank it down. No call is made on the reception, and the score is good for the Donkeys. Which brings the score to 9-7. Still in favor of Mutiny, but the Donkeys looking to chase them down. Still in this fight. Still kicking. Lots of support from the Hot Sauce Girls for Mutiny. As the blading pull comes in from the Donkeys to restart the play. One of the cones used to identify a hole in the field has been kicked out of place. Mutiny looking to work the disc up the field now. As Mutiny make use of their handlers to keep the stall count low. Moving the disc forward now. Marching determinedly up towards the Donkeys' end zone. Still at their brick mark. But moving forward, slowly but surely, the stall count clearly audible from the streaming booth as Mutiny retreats to relieve some pressure. Zonal defense forcing Mutiny to the line as they look for a deep forehand huck up the field. Turned over in the center of the field on the end zone line of the Donkeys, who huck deep as well. Will this disc stay in bounds? It will not. The wind having its way with that disc. As Mutiny now move to the right-hand side of the field, having regained possession after a deep attempt from the Donkeys. The ladies' final now concluded, and they come to watch the open division. The winners of the women's final, Hot Sauce with 15-3, as Mutiny convert on the far side of the field to add to their tally. Mutiny now in the double digits, 10-7. Donkeys trail by 3. Mutiny to pull. Fantastic performance from these two teams today, considering the conditions. Mark, unfortunately unable to receive the disc after the first pass there from the Donkeys. Mutiny looking to convert on what looks like a fantastic opportunity to do so, presented by the Donkeys. Working the disc around, looking for an angle into the end zone. Shifting the disc back and forth. Sam Bovum cuts wide, looking to receive. Mutiny still maintaining possession, and they convert. A flagrant spike into the ground in celebration as they extend their lead to 11-7. Now a 4-point lead. And a timeout has been called by Mutiny. And Donkeys will make use of this time to evaluate what they might need to change. The timeout concludes and Mutiny pulls. Donkeys in possession now. Looking up the field. The disc bobbled and turned over. Mutiny now looking to work up the field and extend their lead. Relentlessly attacking the end zone. A call has been made. Now moving up the field, and Mutiny score again. Enthusiasm on the line to celebrate as the Donkeys return to their line. The score now 12-7 to the to Mutiny. Donkeys trailing by 5. Mutiny will be very happy to maintain this lead. Mutiny ready to pull. A drifting pull. Hoping to stay in bounds. It does not. Just outside. By about 1.5 meters. And the Donkeys will brick this. They have. As Ryan approaches the brick mark. Spreads the disc to the right hand side to Mark. Back to Ryan. Moving up the left hand side of the field. Cuts across to the right. Donkeys moving the disc very confidently up the middle of the field. A hammer loaded up by Mark. Decided against. Kick to Ryan in the center. Looking for the end zone. Back out to the right. And low into the end zone for the Donkeys to convert, bringing their score to 8. The Donkeys pull, drifting out of bounds, caught on the sideline, and the brick is called. Caught out of bounds, apologies. And Mutiny will bring this up to the brick mark. Mutiny making use of their handlers to move the disc. Keep it moving and reset the stall count. A single very deep option available for Mutiny. Donkeys attempting to build some pressure with a zonal defense. Zonal defensive structure. Mutiny continuing to move the disc. A very loud stall count and a layout block attempt. Successful by Donkeys, who will now attack the Mutiny end zone after excellent defensive pressure. Donkeys need to remain composed to convert and lessen the lead of Mutiny. Evaluating their options in the end zone, making use of their handlers, and a bid for the end zone to put the Donkeys a point forward and a point closer to Mutiny, the second in a row. Bring their score to 9. 9-12 to Mutiny. The Donkeys 3 points behind. As a passenger jet enters the view of the stream to land at East London Airport, King Paulo Airport. It's a beautiful day here in East London. The wind definitely playing a role in today's matches as the Donkeys' pull drifts out of bounds. And a brick is called. Mutiny approach the brick mark. Spread the disc out to the right hand side of the field, now looking to move up the line. No option there. The zonal defense of the Donkeys preventing a look up the field. A Mutiny player crouched in the end zone, attempting to hide. Spotted by the thrower, and it seemed to have worked. Black doesn't really blend in with green on any other day except today, and Mutiny add to their score. A snake in the grass, a black panther if you will. Tiptoes in the end zone to convert for Mutiny and extend their lead. My nuts have fallen on the floor again. My snack, I mean. We're having a hell of a time up here in the streaming booth. The wind has caused all kinds of problems for us today, to say the least. But we hope you're enjoying watching the Opens Division finals between Mutiny and Long Donkeys, as Long Donkeys catch the pull and attempt to build some momentum and get off their end zone line before the Mutiny defense sets up. Donkeys moving the disc very confidently up the field, trying to find options. A look into the end zone. The wind forcing the disc down early. And Mutiny checks. The disc is left on the floor. A timeout has been called. The energy from the Mutiny team palpable as they do their part of the ship, part of the crew chant. Mutiny looking to keep the momentum in an attempt to close out this final. Donkeys looking to kick their way back in. Donkeys will look for a quick turnover here to try and convert. Mutiny will look to get off their end zone line. And push up the field to secure another point. Mutiny looking to relieve the pressure with an upfield forehand. The disc is up. Spreading the disc back into the center of the field for more passing options. Slowly advancing on the Donkey's end zone. Moving up the left-hand side of the field now. Some quick give and goes. A reset to the handling line. Into the center of the field in front of the end zone now. Equidistant between the goal line and the brick mark. Evaluating their options. Mutiny continue their attack on the Donkey's end zone. Moving up the left-hand side of the field now. Only 2 meters from the line. Pivoting, a reset. Maybe they'll try another angle as congestion builds on the left side of the field. A reset, now level with the brick mark. Moving over to the right-hand side of the field. Pop forward. Almost at the line and turned over. The Donkeys will now come back. A big backhand downfield. A layout attempt on the line. Unsuccessful. And Mutiny will look to work the disc back up the field towards the Donkey's end zone. They spread the disc out to the right-hand side of the field. The disc is rechecked in after non-minor contact, and a call has been made. Discussion continues here at field 6. As the disc is returned to the last uncontested thrower. Tapped on the ground and centered. Mutiny moving the disc up the left-hand side of the field, rather. in between the brick mark and the goal line. Making good use of their handlers. Evaluating potential options into the end zone. Spreading it just to the right-hand side of the field now, bobbled and dropped. The Donkeys will attack. A big backhand attempt into the end zone. 2 markers. Into the grass, just behind the Mutiny end zone. Mutiny now looking to move out of their end zone. A floating forehand, multiple potential receivers, turned over. Donkeys shift the disc out to the right-hand side of the field in their handling line. Now back to the center, gaining about 2 meters of yardage with a quick backhand. And an attempt for the end zone. Over the top. Finds its way nearly up the stairs to the streaming booth. Mutiny on the attack again. Looking to work up the field and build some momentum. They do. Now in the center of the field. Moving over to the right-hand side. Some quick passes from Mutiny to reset the stall count and evaluate more options to find the best angle into the end zone as they move up the left-hand side of the field, encroaching. Shifted into the middle and across the line for yet another conversion and the end of the game as Mutiny take the win at hard cap. $14-9 is the final score as the Wind attempts to wreak havoc in the streaming booth. Huge congratulations to Mutiny, the winners of the Opens division here at Opens and Women's Nationals in East London. Today we streamed at Hudson Park High School. Just the one game. All of the placement games were played at the same time, and the men's and women's finals were streamed. Thank you for tuning in.